Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with a life update video, a little bit about where I've been, what's going on with me, and things like that. So we'll jump right into it. So a lot of you all know, if you have watched some of my past videos, that I have been having some health issues for the past almost 3 years now. My symptoms first started in December of 2021. And since then, in August of last year, 2023, I was finally diagnosed with adult onset Still's disease. So I have a little bit more information about Still's disease down below. But pretty much I have been battling that the last couple of years. Grateful to finally have a diagnosis. Last year was more of, trying to figure out what was wrong with me getting the diagnosis. And this year, according to my doctors, more or less about medication management, getting me to the point where I am stable. I had a lot of complications, and I had about 3 or 4 hospitalizations last year. And it's pretty bad for me because usually my hospitalizations are 5 days or over. I usually stay a long time in the hospital when I am in there just because of the complications with my disease. Last year in November, I was hospitalized for quite a while, as most of y'all know, because my Still's disease went into macrophage activation syndrome, and I was dealing with that as well as low platelet count. I do still struggle with my platelets, but I am not in the danger zone as of yet, as of right now. I have been through 2 biologic medications. So the first one was Alaris, which y'all know about. That didn't work out for me, and that is what landed me back in the hospital in November. And they switched me over to Kineret, or Anakinra is what it's called. So I am still on the Anakinra. I take 2 injections a day, 12 hours apart. I've been doing that since November in the hospital when they started me on it. And I will be doing that for the foreseeable future, more than likely until November. They want to have me on it for a full year. I am still on prednisone as well. So prednisone usually is the only thing that can bring me out of a flare, but excuse me, y'all, short of breath. The only thing that can bring me out of a flare, but it is very dangerous. If you all, don't know about the side effects of prednisone, it can be pretty hardcore, especially because I've been on it off and on for the past 3 years. A lot, heavy doses until they could figure out what was wrong with me. So now that we have a diagnosis and we have me on the medication, then I am weaning down on it. So now I'm on 15 milligrams. If y'all been watching me for a while, when I first got out of the hospital, I think I was on 120 milligrams. So I'm all the way down to 15. And right now we're just going to stay at the 15. I just had some blood work done last week, and some of my numbers were not looking the best. My sedimentation rate is still within range, but my platelets went down a little bit, as well as my ferritin went up. So ferritin is a big indicator with the disease that I have. So my ferritin was very, very high. That's how they were able to diagnose me. Before, the doctors I had previously, they just weren't testing for it. And when I got my new rheumatologist, she tested for literally everything and was able to figure out what it was. So high ferritin, I think mine was well into the thousands, like well into like 4,000, 6,000. I mean, very, very high. I don't remember what it was this last blood work, but I know that it was a little bit above the range. So we're keeping an eye on that. I go back for blood work next week. And I recently had a pulmonary function test because y'all could tell I'm out of breath. One of the things about my disease is I could develop pleurisy, which is, I believe, the inflammation of the lining of the lungs. So they're a little bit concerned about that. I had my pulmonary function test, and now she wants to send me for a specialized CT of the lungs. I just had one in November and everything was fine, but I've become increasingly out of breath, and I think it's, maybe not just related to my weight. I'm hoping it's just my weight, but at the same time, I've been big all my life, and I know when I'm out of breath from my weight, and this doesn't quite feel like that. So that is what's going on with me in a nutshell. I didn't want to make this video like an hour long because I already have previous videos kind of explaining my symptoms and being frustrated, and then finally having a diagnosis. So I'm just dealing with it. We are managing it with medication. I have my good days and bad days. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, they also started me on methotrexate. So I've been on methotrexate since about a month now. I just took my 4th dose of it last Friday. I take 5 pills once a week. The methotrexate has some pretty serious side effects, and usually the first 3 days I'm just like kind of incapacitated, not able really to do much. It makes me severely nauseous. The fatigue is kind of debilitating. I'm not able to do much. So they put me on that because the goal is to get me off the prednisone, because they feel like I'm starting to have negative side effects from it. So as of right now, I'm on the anakinra and the methotrexate and still a very low dose of prednisone to treat the disease overall. So I don't think I forgot anything. Went back to work this past Monday. I was out on medical leave since November, since the last hospitalization. It's been tough getting back into the swing of things with work, but doing the best that I can. The doctor released me with accommodations. She doesn't want me to overdo it, because obviously with any autoimmune disease, stress is the #1 factor. And obviously the medication that I'm on is pretty powerful, and it has a lot of side effects, not just with my disease. So she sent me back with accommodations. She thought it would be good for me to kind of just get back into my routine and, just kind of help me, build back up to where I was. Y'all know I miss shopping, ripping and running the streets. Y'all know I love shopping. That is like my thing. And I haven't been able to do much of that. For one, obviously I have a compromised immune system now. And two, I just don't have the energy. I'm in pain. It is rough walking around the stores. Just all of that. So the goal is to, manage it and make sure the disease doesn't progress any further than it already has. When I got into macrophage activation syndrome, which again is a pretty fatal aspect of my disease, that was during November, and it was pretty bad. That's why I stayed in the hospital that long. I wouldn't say that I downplayed it when I talked to y'all, but I guess I didn't realize how serious it was myself, but it was pretty serious. But I am I could say confidently, I think I'm out of that. For the most part, I haven't had any other complications. Here we are, almost the middle of March, almost at my 33rd birthday, and haven't had a hospitalization. So the goal this year is to stay out of the hospital. So that's pretty much it. If y'all have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. My kidneys are doing pretty good. The last doctor's visit I had with my nephrologist was actually last week, and he advised me that I no longer have any protein leaking in my urine. So that's really good. I have been dealing with that since the beginning of 2022. That was an official diagnosis for me, was acute kidney injury. They still have it listed as one of my diagnoses, but hopefully, he could clear me. I see him again, I think in September, and I'll probably at that point be able to do just once a year with him, just to make sure. He wants to monitor me too, because he mentioned with the methotrexate there may be some side effects to the kidneys. He mentioned scarring and things like that, so he still wants to keep an eye on me. But that's good. I don't have to go back to him as frequent. And my next appointment with my rheumatologist, I think it's in June, so that's good as well. Hopefully be able to do just every 3 months with her. Me and her communicate very frequently through my chart. I have to get my blood work done every 2 weeks just to make sure that everything is working accordingly. And if everything works out good, hopefully next time I can step down even further on the prednisone. But right now she wants me to stay where I am. So that is a mouthful, I know. Thank y'all so much for the prayers and the well wishes and just the knowledge, because when I first started going through all of this, y'all were on it. Y'all were like, make sure you ask your doctor about this, ask your doctor about that. Have you tried this health system? You want me to recommend a rheumatologist? Like, y'all were really on it, and I really, really appreciate it. Y'all have really come through for me. And just thanks for staying on my channel, y'all. Like, I know my uploading has been crazy the last couple of years, and a lot of it is just from me not feeling good and just literally not having the strength to even record. I mean, some days I'm barely able to get out of bed. So I appreciate all the love and support from y'all, all the prayers and well wishes. Y'all are always messaging me on my other social media, checking on me, and I appreciate that so much. Y'all send cards. I know I don't always send some back, but please charge it to my head and not my heart. Just going through a lot. Actually picked up some cards to send back to y'all, so thank y'all so much for those that have reached out to me. And I do have some hauls coming up. I did a little bit of online shopping though, and I did actually go into Dollar Tree. I didn't quite get everything I wanted to because I started having some pain, but I was proud of myself. I was able to walk around the store a lot longer this time, so that was good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all again for watching, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. I'm trying to get videos up, but if I don't, and this is the only video you see from me for a couple of days, please understand. But I hope that y'all are doing well, and I'll talk to you again in the next one. Bye.